I think that every quarterback has to go through sort of a process of development because, three things that are critical factors to being a quarterback is decision-making, processing information quickly, and making quick, good decisions. So decision-making and judgment is a critical factor. Accuracy with the ball is a critical factor, and leadership is a critical factor. Well, 2 out of 3 of those things are a little bit innate in terms of a guy understanding a system, feeling comfortable and confident in application of that system so that he can make good choices and decisions, can lead, can be accurate, and do the things to enhance the players around him. So that's the challenge with the young quarterback. Well, I think that I'm hopeful, that when we choose the teams that are in the playoff, that we take the 13 years of experience that the BCS had in tweaking their system of picking teams so that they get the right 4 teams in the game. And that would be number 1. I do think when you look at the history of the BCS, they usually got it right with their process. The criticism always came when there were more than 2 teams that were deserving. Now, the same thing is going to happen with the 14 playoff because there's always going to be a 15 that could have been deserving that will create controversy. But I do think from a fan standpoint that this is going to be something that a lot of people have looked forward to. It'll be good for college football and it's good for the game. Now, I think if we continue to expand, whether it's a playoff system or whatever it is, I think we're sort of getting to the saturation point when it comes to how many games can a college football player play without sort of overdoing it relative to the responsibilities that he has academically and the other things that are going on in their life besides just playing football games, because there's a potential for a player to play 15 games in our league with a championship game as well as 2 playoff games. So now there's only going to be a few teams that do that, and we'd certainly, and I'm sure every coach would certainly like to be one of those teams that had an opportunity to do that. But there's still, I think we have to take the student-athlete well-being into consideration if we continue to play more games. Well, I think, as you look at trends, you'd have to say that I think in 3 years we went from 53 players to 102 players going out early for the draft. 36 of those players did not even get drafted this year. I think 32 of those guys got drafted in the 1st or 2nd round. And my philosophy is, look, I'm not disappointed in any players. And when they make the decision to go do what they're going to do, we're 100% supportive of them, and we want to see them do well. I mean, that benefits them, it benefits us, it's what we're all about. But we do try to give them good advice when it comes to making a business decision about their football career. And what people don't look at is if you're going to be a 5th or 6th round draft pick, they say, I'm going out early so I get to a 2nd contract faster. There's only a 25% chance you're ever going to get a 2nd contract. And your chances of making the team are not nearly as good as a 1st, 2nd, or 3rd round draft pick. So if you stayed in school, you would have a much better chance of becoming one of those guys.